This is an Alliance podcast.
Welcome to the episode of Horticulture Podcast, soccer podcast for us, by us, talking about your section of Black culture and soccer. Got your boy here, Greg here. Got TK here on the ones and twos. What's good with you, bro? And live via satellite in sunny Wisconsin, we got Mayor Kane back in the house. What's good with you, bro?
Man, it's been a long time, dudes.
Man, it's been a minute, man. How you feeling, man?
Glad to be back in good health, good spirits. Just fucking exhausted, man. But I'm here.
Man, so you up there in Wisconsin? You up there for the Ryder Cup, right? You know, the U.S. pulled that dub, man.
Yeah, they did, man.
I don't do golf like that, but I just know that at least from what I saw, it was we pretty much watched Europe. So you know,
this one was really exciting, really competitive, and some of the craziest things that you could see at a tournament happen, but in a positive way. So this was a really successful Ryder Cup, and you know, some people that follow golf not knowing how the team was actually going to come together. But I think, well, being that they won, you know what I'm saying, they did their thing. So Ryder Cup was successful. Weather up here was beautiful. Whistling Straits, that is a beautiful course off Lake Michigan. It's like Field of Dreams, you know, like the cornfields and stuff. Like you're going through all this farmland and everything, and then boom, there's this picturesque course in the middle of a place you never thought you would it would be, in Sheboygan to be exact. But yeah, I'm up here with the cows and dairy and curds and everything, man. Culvers everywhere. So
hold on. I got a request. Now that I actually think about it, I need when you come back down, I need you to bring some spotted cow with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. I have been begging Kyle and Chris to ship some down because apparently they are very stingy with spotted cow there. I'm like, dude,
that's like here and drink spotted cow. Like that's a daily thing. So every time I'm here, spotted cow, or I like to drink the Leinenkugel sometimes. And my favorite Leinenkugel, I love when it's out the Berry Weiss.
Okay.
That's just my thing. I know they got the shandies. I like the grapefruit shandy and all that stuff. But spotted cow, I will definitely go grab some.
I don't know if y'all have ever watched the movie Basketball with the South Park guys, and how they talk about that this secret recipe beer. When they finally taste it, it's like the greatest thing they ever tasted. That's how I feel about spotted cow. Like it's like, oh my god, like it's like, yo, like this is like, how did they beer like this? I didn't think it was even possible because I'm not the hugest beer drinker. Of course, we drink plenty of Stella here at the trap, but like, yeah, but spotted cow is different. It was built different. There's just no way around it.
Man, it hit different. I see right over your shoulder, man. Shout out to our Madison squad up here. So, you know,
absolutely, man. But yeah, man, we got a good bit to talk about tonight. Of course, we're recording this on Wednesday, in part because, of course, the home team played tonight, in part because of the U.S. men's national team roster being announced today. And we just wanted to make sure we got a good amount to give y'all today. Of course, thank you guys for listening to us on your favorite podcast apps, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, iHeartRadio, and of course the FTCUTD YouTube channel. So like, actually, let's start with this guy over here, with the blue Chelsea shirt on right over here. What a good day for y'all, man. What a good day. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
our man, like our hero, Conte has been out with COVID. You know, bless ups to him. Hopefully he recovers quickly from that. But apparently, I guess that wasn't the only guy that was missing because like y'all lost.
Yeah. So I guess we could break this up into three parts here. In terms of missing Conte due to COVID, yeah, that's super unfortunate. That's we wish it didn't happen, and it led to like a domino effect of it. Is it led to Thomas Tuchel having to answer questions from the media about the squad's vaccination status and all that. So I'm not sure if you guys even
Man, like everybody's talking about the vax status. Like we like, I mean, over here it's a mess. I'm gonna get it up in that until put you down. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So that was just like kind of a domino effect of that of Conte just due to COVID. So apparently the Chelsea players have the freedom to vax if they choose. It's not being promoted. Although I will say the club standpoint, Roman Abramovich, the owner, has done countless things throughout this pandemic. So check the receipts on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I continue. Mason Mount was out. Huge miss. I think.
I mean, yeah, but having both of them out, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, I mean the big thing of it there, and it's just like, and then Thiago Silva was also out. So, like.
So no Conte, no Mount, no Thiago, still no U.S. agent. He's still out. Of course, he actually won't even be on the U.S. roster either.
He just put the injury prone on his FIFA card.
You kind of have to because like he's good. He's good for at least 2 or 3 injuries a season, at least.
Absolutely. But anyway, so other than that, it's a bit of a miss, but we have enough depth to still have got the task done. And then Juventus was talking, or not Juventus, but the club, or as a club, but Nietzsche and Cellini were just being their typical self, man. I officially do not like Juventus. Just being straight up, I was like, man, there's some foul stuff, man. Not really foul.
I mean,
it's just
you have to understand, like it's Italian football at its peak. You know, like if they can help it, if they do nothing else, they'll defend the fuck out of some football, and
honestly,
they will do it with hook or by crook.
I mean, yeah. And see, that's the thing about it. I feel like the homie Bobby has it down. Like he said it to me earlier during the match, so I have to give him props for the quote about the spit. But and to be fair, he's Sicilian, so there you go. But what he said was that Allegri has the ability to coach up players beyond their talent level.
Mm-hmm.
Based on morale. So
yeah, like yeah, Juve's been suspect this year. Like I have to go back and check the standings, but like I know like they've been doing pretty shitty in Serie A this year.
Yeah, I don't know their status. I'm not watching. I'm not committed to Serie A just yet. Outside of following Tammy Abraham.
They are 10th. They are 10th, dog.
Bro, tough.
That is very un-UV like.
But what's the point spread though? It could be pretty because it's still early.
No, they are a firm 10th. They are tied at 10th with Torino. So like basically, is everyone in Torino is mid-table.
Torino and there's one other club.
It's like
yeah,
more than 15.
No. Oh no, that's right. Bologna. Yeah. So, but yeah, half of that mid table is in Torino. Well, 2/3. Do your math.
We'll see.
But yeah.
All right.
But yes. What did Bobby say?
But yeah, the whole comment was this: just that Max Allegri has the ability to coach the players, inspire them really, and it's kind of like this Italian thing. Like it's it's like in the root of Italian football. So like you've seen it during the Euros, you saw it in the World Cup in the previous past World Cups in the last couple cycles here actually, one or two. Um, Obviously, I just said the Euros. You see it with Italian players, and particularly in little spats, during different matches and things of that nature. So it's kind of crazy, to be honest. But yeah, and it's totally true. Like I said, we have incredibly way more depth than them. We had the tactics right. I think we just kind of, weren't intent enough with our attacking. Additionally to that, it's one of those things where I think that we need to kind of probably start some different players. Alonso obviously didn't work out. Chilwell needs to be kind of reintroduced into the lineup. Because of that, Alonso's his form never stays up, unfortunately. And as much as an attacking threat that he brings, it's just not enough for those top tier teams. Like Chilwell he started the final last year, so just want to maybe put that in perspective from that component. And then we need a more defensive midfielder. Jorginho, and Kova was not Kova today. It was like he was just stuck in cement, but just making lots of mistakes. So I feel like that's one of those things where we need to have RLC come in or another guy from the bench to to be an instant impact. Like I said, we have incredible amounts of depth, and Juve, a lot of their players were injured. Dybala's on the bench, Morata's on the bench, or not even on the bench. They're both out injured. So yeah. But yeah, screw Bonici, screw Cellini. The good comments. I think Cellini was he gave the interview for the press conference before the match and was just saying that these types of matches are very easy to prepare for. And it's it's rough.
The disrespect.
Yeah, and I was like, I hope the players saw that comment in the build up, but maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It's kind of hard to speculate. But yeah, I digress. That was the match, but we'll get fine through the group. Not too concerned. All the other heavy hitters are looking like they're faltering. So
yes. Speaking of heavy hitters falling, Barcelona is screwed. There's just no way to put it.
Other than Bayern,
Bayern's one thing, because Bayern's Bayern, but they got smoked 3-0 by Benfica. And right now they're sitting dead last in their group with no points. No points. Dinamo Kiev has more points than Barcelona right now. That's how bad it is right now. And we're about to come into an international break. Barcelona has Atletico Madrid on Saturday. I think our man Ronald Koeman is about to be done soon, and it's not like they can call Frank de Boer because we saw the Boer's retired now. He said, "I'm good."
Trying to save himself from the embarrassment, man. He had nowhere to logically go, because once you've made the cross, in my opinion, for coaches, management, once you make the cross across the seas, coming from Europe to America, you're essentially, unfortunately, going down the funnel in terms of management, because MLS's league isn't anywhere near the caliber of what Europe has to offer. So unless you're young and in your coaching career, and you still have time to ascend, it the way he fell into the national job has to be
that's
greatest.
That's comical.
It needs to go. No, I mean, in addition to being completely comical, it needs to go down in the history books as probably one of the best swindles ever in history.
I mean, he just happened to catch it at the exact right time, and because pretty much everyone that was a notable name wasn't available. I mean, they ended up having to get Louis van Gaal to come back for the third time to the national team, which I think is probably the best move they could probably make. But But yeah, the board. You can't have that many failed job stints and basically survive. It's just no way.
Happens time and time again.
Like everybody can't be Jeff Fisher. Like it's just nah.
Yeah, I feel like they accept failure a lot more in the Americas.
But but yeah, like and speaking of Dutch managers failing, just a quick note because we saw that Jap Stam got fired from Cincinnati as well. Like I don't think there's been like one um, Dutch manager that's really succeeded. Like I probably say the Boer's probably the one that's probably like been like the closest because he had the U.S. Open Cup and Campeones Cup and came close to it MLS Cup, but like otherwise, none of them have ended under positive circumstances. So it's pretty tough. But but going back to the Champions League, of course, I'm not even going to like harp too much on our boys, Rashad, because Bernardo does real things. Like honestly, it's not even so much that he's been particularly spectacular. He's just been in the right place at the right time in most cases with most of his goals.
Absolutely. I don't know. That's just talent. Like he has a nose for just being in the right place. And even with the match today, he was in the right place.
Yeah.
and
as simple as that.
At a crucial time, like just let's goal and let's go home, So
I think it's one of those things where, especially at his age, it's he's not jetting down the wings like he used to. Like he's taking very much all of his knowledge and said like, hey, I know where to be when it's time to be there, and it's definitely shut up so far. But there was one match that I wanted to get on real quick, and there's a famous song by Bob Marley and the Wailers, and this goes, I shot the sheriff. Well, you shot Real Madrid. Definitely did that. Definitely did that. First of all, I like to see. I didn't watch the match in a whole lot of detail because work's been kicking my ass lately. But just, of course, seeing it on the socials and seeing it in the chat, and like, how did they manage to do that? And like, I went down the rabbit hole to kind of read more about FC Sheriff, because apparently they're in a part of Moldova that is like a
Say it.
It's like an independent. It's like an unrecognized independent.
Unrecognized. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. And it's pro-Soviet. Like this place is like weird.
Like one of those places, like in the opening ceremony of the Olympics, you see like maybe like one or two athletes, and you're like, where is this place again?
Right. Like I vaguely know of Moldova. It's like Transnistria, I think. And yeah, like you read up on that, it's absolutely crazy. But apparently they know how to make a decent team right now, and yeah, they beat the greatest team in Champions League history, Real Madrid, 2-1. Like
and
that's just
leading their group.
Yeah, like that. That's just funny.
You're gonna get into the group stages, like
yeah.
That
also has Inter Milan.
Yeah, based on the way that the points have broke down, they should at least get their. If nothing else, they'll be in the Europa League. So
yeah,
they're basically the only team scoring goals really in this group.
And yeah, that whole deep dive on Transnistria is like that's just funny, TK. Like it's like what? And then you realize that the club was founded by former KGB officers. You're like, oh, this thing is deep.
But, oh my god, this is like a novel. Seriously, you fall into it, you're like, this is a good book. Shit.
But yeah, it's interesting to see. Like, it's funny to me because like I compare a lot of what's going on with the Champions League results right now to happening with college football right now because like a lot of the teams that are typically dominant haven't been quite as dominant so far this season. It's like I see a lot of parallels, and personally, I think it's attributed to I think the turnaround from last year where you had teams that either weren't playing as often or just they just haven't had much time to rest. I think it's showing up this season, and yeah, it's teams are definitely looking far more shakier than they would in previous years, but it's just the nature of the beast right now where teams are just trying to make it the best they can.
Yeah, they actually predicted this though. Every almost well, not every, but almost a fair handful of announcers and sports analytics, all said that the cram schedule with COVID, all that knock on domino effects, as I like to coin things, between the crunch of the Olympics, the Euros, the back end of a condensed scheduled season from COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's normally they complain about the scheduling being for footballers being overtired, exhausted. So
Right.
imagine it on top of this compounded schedule. It's pretty intense.
And it only get worse if they try to do this damn 2 year World Cup plan. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, they want to shorten the cycle, but it's all about the profits. I mean, I'm sure we know that at this point. We're just preaching to the choir, but yeah.
but
There's a couple things that dropped actually this week, as far as tournaments are concerned, with this cross continental tournament.
yeah, yeah. It was announced that the Euro champions Italy and the Copa America champions Argentina are making plans for, I guess, I don't know if it's one leg or two legs, but they'll be playing for, I think it's Europa America, something like that, next year. And yeah, it's could be interesting. Could work.
I mean, I'm down for like seeing those like teams play, because otherwise you don't see that unless it's a World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, and there's an entertainment value, but I don't know. I feel like they're just kind of creating competitions, and I think unfortunately this may actually become more of a trend.
I
Um,
mean, you
when
saw how we just did with the Leagues Cup. So
Right, and another thing that is, well, I don't know if maybe people are familiar with it. I feel like a lot of us in America are, though, is the ICC Cup,
mm-hmm.
Intercontinental Champions Cup. But yeah, that also got squeezed due to COVID. That was on the cycle for the summer. That was something that doesn't kind of the only opportunities us as in America have to see some of the huge clubs from Europe, and even some of the like them.
You know what though? Just a quick sidebar on that, real quick. Like, I think, given the direction that things were going with the ICC, um, I think I think we had gotten too comfortable with teams coming over here, and
I
so
think
I think that I mean I think because like you rewind back like 15 years ago when you would have Man United coming over, Real Madrid coming over, it was treated as a big deal. And I think now it's like it's coming so commonplace. It had gotten to that point where you would have like about 10 clubs touring the States and Canada. And I think that it kind of lost its buzz factor, I guess you could say. And I think that having these last 2 years where we haven't been able to have any clubs come over here, I think that when they are able to come back, whether it's next year or the year after that, uh, yeah, I think you're definitely going to see, I think, a renewed interest in those tours because, yeah, I'm pretty sure they are just as hungry to get back over here as fans are over here to see them. But one last thing with the Champions League, we did see the the so-called GOAT Messi get his first goal with PSG against City, and like the combo that he had with Mbappe was actually just, I'm like, you sure you want to leave that, Killian? You sure you want to leave that?
I think so. Mayor, what you got on this?
So what was that?
Oh, I was asking the mayor, what's he got on Messi's first goal ever at a different team?
Well, being that I did not witness the first goal yet.
You haven't seen it, man?
I didn't see it.
You missed the back heel, like the counter. I'm like, yo, like it was pretty sexy. It was sexy.
It's all right.
It's a little sexy. It's about a maybe a 6, maybe 7 if you're drunk.
I was gonna say 6.5. Yeah.
6.5.
I mean, I don't really harp on Messi. I'm not on the train.
6.5 out of 10.
For me,
20.
For Messi, that's pretty nice.
Okay. Live reaction. I actually have it up right now.
I'm not impressed with Ronaldo yet.
Okay.
See?
Okay, that was okay.
It was slick.
Nice and slick. Okay. Top of the box. All right.
We expect that from Messi, right?
You do, but at the same time, I think that obviously with people making such a big deal about him moving to PSG, and of course you have Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi all together. Like, of course, the expectation is, hey, we're about to have goals everywhere. And then, of course, then you realize that you come back to reality and realize, okay, this actually might take time. I mean, even when LeBron came to Miami, it wasn't a hit right away. Like it took a second. Like I think it's the same case here. When you're dealing with such big superstars that are used to carrying shit on their own in their own way, and now you have to incorporate someone even bigger into that same space. Yeah, like you have to end up sacrificing a lot to make all of that work. So, but they were able to beat Man City 2-0, and that's
I got to bump it up, TK. I'm sorry, man.
Well, we're doing an 8.
Where you were going at, man? I gotta go maybe 8.
He rewatched it.
There's an 8. It's an 8 if I'm drunk.
Give me a 7.
Are you drinking beer tonight? You got anything over there you sipping on?
No, I'm.
Make sure.
I'm on my health tip. I'm doing tea right now. Like I said, I'm trying to get healthy.
There, are you sipping?
Am I sipping?
Mm-hmm.
I actually am not sipping, man.
Okay, I just want to make sure we don't slide the scale.
You know what I'm saying? I got the. I don't want to really show you. I got that water. You know what I'm saying? Got that water.
I'm going more herbal tonight. Going more herbal tonight.
See, I mean, I'm not at my dwelling to have my herbal, so I do what I have, So,
but yeah, I definitely think that it's so far. I think because of the losses that have come so far, you got United, you got Barcelona, you got Chelsea. Like it's and City losing. Like it's a very interesting start to the Champions League. Of course, we're about to go into the international break next week, and today the men's national team roster was announced, and that actually is funny because I like it, but at the same time, I'm like some of the people who were left at home. I'm like, why? Because I've definitely been busy on the socials today, having debates about certain players. I wish we had Jake on this week because there's a player from NYCFC that just recently moved over to Scally. Plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. I got that right this time. And he's been playing lights out, and he wasn't called up. But like, you've never been called up to you never even been called up, let alone been capped. And so, like, I understand, especially during World Cup qualifiers, I completely understand if Berhalter doesn't call up guys that have a great deal of experience with the national team. I think that Pepe was different because we honestly had few options striker, and like, hey, I need to try something. But fullback isn't a position of need, so you know, if you're not struggling for options, it's like, hey, I can afford to, take my time with working them into the roster. Like, did y'all see any choices that y'all are kind of surprised by? I know there's no Josh Sargent, there's no Jordan Pefok. U.S. agent Pulisic is out still from injury. Gio Reyna's out with injury. Like, what are y'all seeing, if y'all like anything?
Let me take a peek here.
I mean, I'm not taking too much issue with what's going on. We also have to mention that Weston McKennie is also back.
Yes. After getting kicked out during the last international break for breaking COVID and allegedly smashing cheeks outside the bubble, he is back. Are you how surprised are you that he got called back so soon?
I mean, we're trying to win. So
there we go.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
You ain't got time to be playing around and try to make a point and trying to make people learn your lesson. Like, hey, we try to win games. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it completely blows back on him because all it starts is, or it'll immediately start with the media. And then secondly, it'll start with the announcers during who are calling the match. They're going to start adding that point into the analysis. So you're going to have a whole person who's going to talk about it and weave it into their points that they're making about the players and the way that the managers approach tactically as far as setting the system up, or Berhalter in particular. So, yeah, it's absolutely going to be a talking point. And it's better to have McKennie on the bench than not on the roster. If he wants to make a point and not play him,
okay, I'll take that.
Then at least he has a weapon to bring off the bench. But
got you.
He can't afford the blowback. If he's smart and 3 steps ahead.
I mean, he's a Pepe away from getting fired early this month. He was like, that first half against Honduras was so bad. It was like, ooh, like he might not make it on the plane back to Chicago. Like, this might not work. And in comes Pepe and in comes Lletget, and suddenly it's like, oh, Berhalter makes the right changes. He's a genius.
He's willing to be flexible.
But yeah, I definitely think that go ahead.
I'm saying he's not a fraud, but he's he ain't it. He's gonna get us to the next cycle. I think one of the best analysis came from Sky on this.
Like I think let me pull the schedule back. I know we got Jamaica during this. We got Jamaica next Thursday, Panama next Sunday on the 10th, and then Costa Rica on the 13th. I said we'll definitely go into more detail as far as, I guess, previewing those matches next week. But yeah, definitely they should be pretty. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm not even going to assume because it's the U.S.
We'll hold. Yeah, we know what we think. We believe what we think should happen. But then again, you never know. Shit gets weird.
Like, I need to see, like, if anybody gets hurt, if anybody gets replaced. I need to, like, So yeah, give us a week. We'll figure that part out, and we'll give you our thoughts in the next couple of weeks. But
Jamaica might be at the bottom of the table, but that don't mean a thing.
Yeah, like it's never a guarantee with us, so we shall see. But we're gonna take a quick break and pause for the cause. Hear from our fam over at Protagonist, and on the flip side, we're gonna talk about London still being red. We talk about the NWSL coming down on Washington.
You got to get interrupted for that.
What's up?
London ain't red. Never will be.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, we'll check it out in a quick bit, and we'll be right back. All right.
You got that marker? That was pretty recent.
It's 52-57, but like we didn't start till like 10 minutes in, so like we're probably like at the.
I'm talking about that little blip for me.
Oh yeah.
Good. I was trying to move some stuff around. Ooh, oh shit! I'm hot.
My back is. All right. Round 2. Fight in 5, 4, 3, 2. And we're back. Now, you try to correct me, TK, but I'll say this. Let me modify it. North London is red. Is that better?
Okay.
I can't speak on West London. I can't speak on. Are there any clubs on East London? I never hear about East London. Like I know West London, Chelsea, Fulham. Who's on South London? I can't remember.
Brentford.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard anything about East London. It must be too.
And start out. Or wait, no, there is another London club. How am I this slow with this? It's disrespectful.
But yes, the North London W was this past Sunday, and it's very interesting to see like how quickly things have changed. Because of course, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about how Spurs were first in the league, and basically that was like the epitome of the milk crate challenge. And like it's funny how things can change in a couple of weeks because clearly those milk crates have fallen. Spurs have busted their ass. They have now lost 3 straight. And it's to the point where, given how bad that loss was to Arsenal, I'm worried about my boy Nuno. Kind of worried about him. Because those losses, like they've all been like 2-3 goals each. And they've looked pretty bad. You look like you're looking at something. What you reviewing?
Oh, sorry, I got deep into it. I was like, man, geez, Arsenal suck.
they were sucking, and then suddenly they've won like 3 straight, and they're now suddenly it's like, hey, they're trending back up. It's funny. Like,
no, I'm sorry, I disagree with that too. Honestly, it was a pretty hard line. We need a Roy Keane to literally humiliate them on national television, and not in a demeaning way, but literally get serious. You cannot be serious that these guys are this happy to have like a lady. They are celebrating in the locker room as if they won a trophy of any.
I mean, it's a rival, so I get it. I get it,
bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think given, like I said, that first half with for Arsenal went so well that I get it. And given how things started off so shitty for Arsenal, like I said, for them things are trending up. So
we'll see.
But I think Spurs are just above. I'm sorry, Arsenal is just above Spurs in the table, and we don't know like how far up Arsenal trending, but at least it's better than it was a few weeks ago when they were dead last and hadn't scored a goal. So, yeah. What you got, Pat?
You're right. I'm just saying, just right in the middle of the table. I think they are trending in the right direction, but let's see for how long they can sustain this. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still massively jealous that of all teams Thomas Partey decided to go to, he wanted to go to Arsenal. I'm like, dude, like you are just that is not the spot. Like that, like why? But
This will be interesting though, like to see where Arsenal ultimately can go, and then how it's almost like Arsenal and Tottenham have kind of like switched fortunes.
Yeah, like
it's
happened so quickly,
and then how Arsenal can continue to improve. Like that's going to be a storyline to see this year.
Yeah, like I'm just really worried about Nuno at this point because, like I said, like the past few games, like Spurs have looked bad, and it's with Kane still being there, and like I don't know, like if it's a case like where he just doesn't want to be there, but like I definitely think that just the effort the entire team brought during the game, I'm worried that Nuno might get fired sooner rather than later, and it'll be interesting to see like if he can manage to turn things around and just get everyone on board. Because like I think that much like we talked about earlier with Barcelona, Spurs kind of in the same boat too, where it's like you're in the middle of a transition period, and it's a great club on paper, but right now you don't want to be there. Like it's just because you're going to have to replace a club legend in Kane. You're probably going to have to replace Son pretty soon, and it's like like are you able to hang on through that whole period, or can you make it work? And so I'm hoping that Nuno could at least get them to where they're back to a respectable spot and hang on to his shot. Because I mean, like I said, we got nothing but love for him, but it's
I love some Nuno.
It'll definitely be telling to see if he can hang on to it.
Yeah.
Dynamite analysis.
No, it is. So I guess we'll full circle. I've stat boyded up, and you just got West Ham over there basically, and Millwall if they ever do that.
Millwall. Oh, a quick thing because I meant to shout it out last week, but I was just rushing. Shout out to the Ted Lasso show for I think they won like 3 or 4 Emmys. They won for Best Actor with Sudeikis. I didn't realize what Roy Kent the actor's real name was until the Emmys. Like that was Britt Goldstein and the boss she won as well. But yeah, like it's funny because like I actually caught up on Ted Lasso like that Sunday the night of the Emmys. So like I was like, oh, okay, I'm easing back into it. Like it's good. Of course, some people they treat it like it's an episode of This Is Us and they've been crying all over the place. I'm like, I haven't gotten that far with it, but it's good. Like I will say though that the last week's episode with the funeral, that was good. That was good. That if I was going to get emotional, it would have been over that episode. But yeah, congrats to the Ted Lasso crew for that. But wanted to do a quick follow up, like we've been talking about it for like the past few weeks. We talked about it when Elle from 2 Cents FC was on the show. One of the people on under the 2 Cents flag, Kaya McCullough, she had her podcast coming a couple weeks ago talk about her experience with the Washington Spirit, and just came out this week that the NWSL has sanctioned the Washington Spirit. They have fired their former head coach Richie Burke for cause, and basically like nobody from the Spirit organization can take part in any type of governance with the league. I know like one of their new investors in the team, one of their new owners, put out a big statement in the Washington Post earlier this week, basically saying that the changes that she's tried to make in the club have been met with a lot of resistance, and she's basically just asking everybody to hold on because you still have people who are trying to hang on and do things their way, and it's clearly affecting the overall morale at the team. Like they've had, I think, like 3 of their top 5 women in the organizations lead the team the past couple months, and it's just been stupid. But of course, we're still like, sell the team, Steve, sell that shit. And honestly, given everything that came out, I'm like, why isn't the league forcing the team to get sold and everything? Because clearly there were things within just that one organization that are just mad janky as hell. Like, and the sad part is that there are more stories out there with other teams out there. You recall what happened with the Salt Lake team that was forced to sell last year and moved to Kansas City. There's other teams out there as well that are dealing with issues. So hopefully they get their shit together sooner rather than later, because we're trying to grow the league and grow women's soccer here. So hopefully the league sees that and doesn't throw the bag, because you have a good thing now. But what else we got here?
Keep the thing, good thing. We want to keep our nice things.
Yes, I like. I don't want to make it. I want to give it its own space instead of putting it up in 2 up and 2 down. But just the other day, the first ever Power 5 college soccer game with 2 black head coaches took place between Michigan and Northwestern. Michigan has Shaka Daly as head coach, and Northwestern has Russell Payne. He just recently took over for Northwestern back in May, and of course we hardly ever cover college soccer like that on here, and trust me, I couldn't tell you shit from shit as far as what's going on in college soccer, but I know that's definitely a major thing. Of course, it's crazy that it's taking this long for things to get here, but yeah, definitely a shout out to Michigan and Northwestern for that achievement and everything.
Yeah, that is amazing, man. It's like something that we've been talking about for the longest, wanting to see more of us in those ranks and growing through the channels of coaching on whatever level that is, more representation. Mm-hmm. So that is awesome to see, awesome to hear. And I hope that we're continuing to develop more men like them, and more people, young people, aspire to be like them as well, as we continue to grow the sport and the culture of the sport around the country and around the world. So I too give kudos to them, and we'll give them more of their flowers in our 2 up, 2 down.
Flowers everywhere. Of course, as always, a quick plug with the store website. In case you have noticed, like we've been in the middle of making some changes. Of course, we still have the Legends of the Culture hoodies available on sale with Sadio Mane and Brianna Scurry available. They're still available until October 16th. We will make an announcement next week as far as who will be next going into October for the next Legend of the hoodie sets. So yeah, make sure that you get yours before time runs out. FTCUTD.myshopify.com, And of course, now for everyone waiting on name sets, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there right now. I talked about it last week with my car situation. Of course, I do. I primarily do these name sets myself, so that means I got to get to and from to pick up the vinyls and everything. Since I didn't have my truck, it basically delayed it. Everybody's getting their stuff out. I'm getting everything out this weekend, so just be patient. Hope y'all understand. We will make this happen. But yeah, because I just finally got my truck out the other day, and that's a whole headache in itself. But yes, yeah, keep supporting the team, keep supporting the pod at FTCUTD.myshopify.com.
That fire is soon on the way.
Yes. Yeah, we still got the goods still there. Like I said, but we are in the process of updating everything as we make some changes going in the next month. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good, so I don't want to waste too much time. So let's get up in two up and two down, man. That's so it's been a while since you've been up on here, so let's get you up on here first, Mayor.
All right, cool. Well, glad to be back. I was just, starting out. I was like, man, what should I bring up? I'm always wanting to bring, whatever. So, should I go up or down? Where should I start, fellas?
I don't have a coin with me, so I'm gonna say let's get the down out the way.
All right, let's get the down out the way. All right, cool. All right, well, in case you're hiding under a rock, which I hope you haven't.
Rocks are cold, so don't do that.
Yeah. I don't know who hasn't heard about R. Kelly, but he has been found guilty in the sexual misconduct trial, and man, oh man, this is crazy. I know a lot of people have talked about it, and there's been many opinions formed about it and things like that, but. Can we separate the music from the man, or do they all go together?
It's case by case.
No, it's all muddy. It's all muddy now. I can't do it. I honestly, I'll be truthful, and I don't want to walk over your time, but I've been having to skip Aaliyah too.
The reason I ask is because R. Kelly is a musical genius, right?
Right.
And not only does he have his catalog, but he's also written some of the biggest songs in history for other people.
Right.
So I know the personal shit with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, stand away. But the music is like, if you're going to boycott his music, do you boycott stuff that he's written? Or do we separate the music and the man, accept accept the musical genius and throw everything away in the trash?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been food for thought. I just wanted.
Oh no. I just me personally. I've never really gotten to the weeds as far as like who writes songs, who and everything. Because if we go down to that, you're cutting off a whole lot when it comes to R. Kelly. So I try to keep it simple. If he did it, and if his songs, I don't do. It's just that simple. Everything else, I'm like, yeah, better not tell me. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna look at it sideways. But yeah, it's the level of allegations and charges put upon him. I think he also got found guilty of racketeering as well. Yeah, like it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, you just can't do it. You just can't do it.
Sanity. But onto my next down, something that currently involved Champions League. We didn't mention this earlier, but Barcelona has gone 5 matches, without a victory for the first time in damn near a quarter of a century. 24 years winless in 5 matches in Champions League.
Like I said, Coleman's on borrowed time.
Yeah.
He is on borrowed time.
So that's my downs. And my ups. I was trying to figure out where to go with this because there was some pretty cool stuff. But a couple days ago, Yo Gotti, for those that don't know,
Yes.
Memphis rapper, entrepreneur, doing his thing. Yo Gotti out of Memphis, rap, hip hop legend. He's actually now part of the ownership group for DC United, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. And you're starting to see more people of color in ownership within the league. So you have Harden, you have
KD,
Mahomes, KD, Yo Gotti now, Russell Wilson,
Mark Ingram.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's wonderful news, and he bucks the trend of athletes actually being owners.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an entertainer crossing the lines into football, and I think it's a great sign as I see more people getting into the sport, getting into the culture of the sport. I think this will be a great thing for DC. Which I'm surprised someone like Wale, as much as he champions for his city, was someone that's not a part of DC United as far as like ownership or like a ambassador or something of that sort. That would be pretty cool to see. But it's interesting that Yo Gotti is with DC United.
Yeah. Maybe one day Memphis 901 will get up in MLS and he'll take his chips back to Tennessee. But but yeah, it's definitely cool to see because I mean you're not seeing this with NFL, you're not seeing this with Major League Baseball, you're seeing this with MLS, and I think that just having those celebrities faces involved with MLS definitely I think it reads well for the league. So hopefully there's more to come. It's a perfectly good team here in Atlanta that hopefully if the family wants to sell a couple chunks, hey, we got athletes, we got celebrities, we can make it work.
We can make it happen. Pretty sure Jeezy would like to give some money.
I'm saying.
As much as we like to use them. But my last up goes to the home team, baby. Tonight, Josef Martinez, the king, he scored his 100th goal for United in all competitions. This man burst on the scene. Hardly nobody, people knew who he was coming from Torino in 2017. I think he was our last DP signing. We were trying to figure out, that last piece of the puzzle. I can't remember who the player was that we couldn't get, but he was kind of like a last minute scramble. Boom, we got him. And then just from there, he's been a hit. MVP 2018, Golden Boot, you name it, dude's done it. And this is someone that came into the 2020 campaign first match towards ACL and has been out for a year. And now to come back this season, going through COVID, going through, just getting back into fitness, tactical changes, et cetera, et cetera.
Benched by Heinze.
Right. And to hit that pinnacle of 100 goals.
The fastest in
MLS,
league history.
Nonetheless, is insane. So, like, giving him his flowers as well. Kudos to Josef. And that's my 2 up. And my 2 down and my 2 up. So I'll pass the buck over to Mr. Ones and Twos, Mr. TK.
Yeah, let's go thing on Josef real quick. Like I said, he's the fastest person to reach 100 goals in MLS history, and I would lean to say that he's probably comeback player of the year because I mean you kept coming back from a knee injury. He had COVID during the Copa America, and he got benched by Heinz trying to stand up for the team. And he's definitely been what basically one of the leaders since Heinz was let go, and he put his money where his mouth is. Because imagine if he had sucked upon coming back after Heinz got fired, everybody would have been looking like, I don't know if you I don't know if you should have made that move, Chief. So, but yeah, he's definitely shut up a lot of people. And just one quick thing, a lot of people bitch about a lot of people with knee issues always bitch about playing on turf. He's proven that it's possible to play extensively on turf, coming off a knee injury and still being successful. So, if you got a DP out there from Europe that says, I don't want to play on turf, I'm gonna say bullshit.
Somebody give him Joseph number, give him our training staff's number, something like that, because it's possible.
Yeah,
and it could be also the type of turf you play on as well. We have some pretty good stuff on our pitch.
I can't speak for New England, so yeah. What you got, Chico?
Looks rough down there. I've been to that field. New England.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll start in the same fashion. I'll follow Rashad, the mayor. Big down is we are, or the people who work, not just we, I want to speak uniformly, but the people who are behind your favorite films and television shows and your favorite concerts and your favorite theatrical shows on Broadway and et cetera. All these kinds of theatrical stage entertainment, animation, all these people there's a huge workforce behind what you see, the content that you've been able to essentially digest during the pandemic and from movies and film in general. But we are at an odds with the content providers and the streaming providers for better work hours. So on Friday, all the um, International Alliance of Theatrical Stage employees will be striking.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard about that. Yeah.
Solidarity with SAG, the actors and producers and guild. The Teamsters are all, which is basically the transportation the people who I get on the bus and who take me to my car at the end of working a 14-hour day on set.
Mm-hmm.
That person who's driving the bus, those are the Teamsters. They're in solidarity with us. So we will be voting to strike on Friday when the vote comes down. So just if you feel so inclined to check out the website at IATSE.com, and you can just get more further info there if you want to express your feelings about that and support the people who are behind. So you're probably all of your favorite television shows and things of that nature. And it's also an up in the same way, so I don't want to spin it as a complete negative thing. So we'll bounce up. It's been really, really encouraging to see that people are standing up um, for better wages, not for better wages, excuse me, for better working environments. With the pandemic happening, the mental toll that has been affecting a lot of people is just incredible. And then you put on top of that working a 14-hour day and then asking someone to drive home. Anything can happen, and there's been lots of accidents. So it's good to see that people are all willing to do this because that's the only way that's going to work, and it's the same way that our democracy works. So we've been on a bit of a wave here in Georgia, so I'm in good spirits to see this turn into something positive, and yeah, I'm really hopeful. So I'm just kind of eager to get in there and put my vote in, and we'll see how this all turns out when they go to the negotiating table with these content providers. But we all know they've been raking in the money over the course of the last year and a half. So it's time to pay out on that.
Say fuck that, pay me.
Yeah, I mean it ain't full like Soprano style, but yeah. And then I guess another down.
Oh, you got to up that we hadn't got to yet, man.
Oh, what did I skip here?
The Hundo.
A Honda. Oh,
So Sunday.
wait, I'm sorry.
Lewis.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't gonna actually mention anything about F1 this week because I want to try and wrap it up into next week's with the race. But in general, a big up to Lewis Hamilton. He finished this this last Grand Prix. It was actually kind of sad, man. I really wanted Lando to win that race. That's why I wasn't gonna say anything about it. But if you're keen into the Formula One, been watching Drive to Survive, all that stuff. It's on ESPN for free on the weekends. But yeah, big up to Lewis Hamilton. Literally, the man is a living legend. No other driver has committed these feats, not even Michael Schumacher, who is hailed as the greatest racing driver ever. So I don't know.
Coming for that number one spot.
He's already the number one, man. And the thing is, all we really have to do now is just sit here and enjoy it, because he's past the peak of his career. So Max Verstappen is a mighty driver, and he's barking down Lewis's tail. So we're going to enter the era of Max pretty soon, I feel, unless next year it gets real loopy. But
I did not realize that Lewis Hamilton is 36. I did not realize. I thought he was younger than that. I mean, hey, I don't crack, so I get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Next year will be great. We'll see, because he's going to be here for another 2 years, in my opinion, at minimum. Just to see the transition for how this new regulations for Formula One will play into effect. So yeah, he's going to be setting a lot more records. Hopefully it doesn't get crazy. Mercedes are crappy, so I think they'll be fine. So I guess that's a global up, though. I don't want to claim that as mine. I'm the F1 guy.
Cool. I'll let you finish that down. What were you gonna say?
Just another down is that I think I don't want to, but yeah. So I'm try and find another place to live. Hopefully, so. Got a little unexpected news, so we'll see how this works out. But maybe I'll be a homeowner. Maybe we could swing this into an up, and I'll notify everyone later.
So we'll swim on those thumbs on that one.
Yeah, I'm real. It's real wobbly legs, feeling like a marathon runner at the end. So I don't know what's gonna happen next. So kind of uncertainty on that point. Yeah. And other than that, just life's been good. Just trying to take some time. Been working on some other projects. Trying to get my career, my post post 40 career set up. Trying to line some things up.
Cool. Come on, YouTube. There we go. See the face.
This wasn't YouTube.
But I don't want to dwell too hard on too much negative, but actually I'll keep it light with the down. FIFA 22 is about to come out, and so like on the socials they've been coming out with the rankings for like top 10 for the women. I think the top 50 for the men, or top 10 by position, I believe. I don't have the graphic here on the YouTube, but the rankings they did for the women are just janky as shit. Like somehow they have Christine St. Clair as a top player. I'm like, she was about 6 years ago. It ain't now. They still got Alex Morgan. That ain't it now. I think like the only black player that they had in the top 20 was Wendy Renard. And I love Wendy, but there's better players. There's better American players. Like there was no Crystal Dunn, no Mitch Purse. There was no press. There was no Sarah Gordon. I was like, the level of y'all ain't shitness that is happening was kind of wild. And like you mentioned Ben Chilwell earlier, TK. Why is he the same ranking as Alphonso Davies?
Bro, I don't know. It's well, I do know, but I don't really want to take a turn like that. I think it's wait for that.
And
we subtly we know the reason subtly, just due to the way these things work. But
I think there is just an abnormal amount of disrespect towards CONCACAF players because like it was hard, like you always see it with the American players, but like you can't deny Alphonso Davies. I'm like he's like top 20 in the planet right now. Yeah. And you got him at an 82. I was like, oh no.
I think they only did that though. And here's my logic with FIFA's rankings. And I don't really want to jump in too much. It's just because they have they do this with the young players, even if they're already blitz. Like why would you put Neymar at like 86? Like he's really like 90 already, you know?
Right.
But they I think it's part of the the build up for the game, so you can build that player up. You're not playing cheat code.
Well, after 2 weeks of playing, Davies should be at 86. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But yeah, like I still haven't even got a PS5 yet. I'm getting there, of course, with the amount of money I had to get my truck out the shop. It might not be until next year, but yeah, like hopefully there's some good sales for PC games because yeah, it might be a minute for the consoles. And that's really all the downs. Actually, no, there was one other down. The NBA, they're starting their media tours as the season's about to start in a couple weeks. Just a lot of stuff with players still questioning the vaccines, and I'm like, we've been dealing with this for 18 months now. If you ain't done your research by now, you ain't trying to. There's just no way around it. And like you can say it's for personal reasons that you have it that you won't say if you've gotten your vaccine or not, or you won't answer if you have or you haven't. I'm like, dude, like this isn't something that you can play with. And considering you're dealing with a high contact sport, so like it'll be interesting to see like how things play out because you have California. If you can't even be in the building if you haven't been vaxxed. In New York, you can't even be in the building if you've been vaxxed. So like you have like players like Andrew Wiggins who plays for the Warriors. Like he technically can't play any home games for Golden State because of the mandates that Southern California has. So I'm curious to like how that's going to play out going into the season because especially since the NBA just announced that if you can't play, you ain't getting paid. It's just that simple. If you can't play because of your back status, yeah, you're kissing the game check goodbye. So yeah, for a lot of players, you're talking about not everybody's rich. Like you might get paid a lot, but you might not have a lot because you're spending your money elsewhere. And yeah, that's I'm very curious to see like how that plays out to where like you want to stick to your guns and not get vaxxed, or do you need to get this checked? So it's going to be very telling to see like how that plays out. Last but not least, the Raiders, baby. The Raiders, baby. 3-0, baby. 3-0. Can't speak for none of y'all that have lost games, that ain't won nothing. But is your team 3-0? No. So yes, just win, baby. For some reason, we like I don't know if it's just a Vegas thing, but because both of our games at home have gone to overtime, and of course we've won. And but yeah, it's just a sense of it's just a sense for the dramatic and having to go to overtime to win. Of course, you saw the first week of the season on Monday Night Football against the Ravens. We smacked up on Pittsburgh last week, and then had to do OT one more time against Miami. Sorry, Amy. Told you go win, and we won. So there. But yeah, it's it's funny, like this is like how my fandom has changed, because I ain't gonna lie to you, my fandom has not been what it once was, but it's definitely exciting to see, the Raiders actually doing something well, especially with fans coming back to able to come to the new stadium in Vegas for the first time. So there's that atmosphere is kind of wild. Like you see it there, you see it in LA at the new stadium out there. Like, yeah, like those are the atmosphere are live there. So
I'm glad a lot of y'all Raiders woke up, because moving is in your DNA. And
I mean,
Raiders have moved out times.
all the West Coast is Raider Nation. Just remember that.
Right.
All the West Coast, whether it was LA, whether it was Oakland, whether it was Vegas, you could be in Seattle. It's all Raiders, baby. Dude, I don't know what Al Davis was thinking with that, but hey, I really would have liked to have seen the Hollywood Park Stadium happen, but hey, I love Vegas. I love the Death Star. Hopefully I'll be able to get out there soon enough and check it out. But yeah, just baby
coming soon. You know what I'm saying? See some Las Vegas lights FC, and then go down the street and see the Raiders.
But and then of course the other home team. I saw y'all on Sunday. Like I said, something about New York. Brings out the best in Atlanta. Whether it's the Hawks, whether it's the Falcons, y'all do that thing, man. So y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. That's really all I think we got for this week. It's glad to have Team Chocolate back up here in the house. As always, you can catch us on the social the FTCUTD and on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, FTCUTD Pod on TikTok. Like I said, we'll figure it out. Like we're getting there. But yeah, of course, next week there's another international break, and the U.S. has we don't have any national team games till Thursday. But like I said, we'll cover stuff. Whether it's the league stuff that happened over the weekend or the first set of Euro games that happen next week. But so we won't be completely bare. But like I said, we'll work it out. But make sure you hit us up. Make sure you support the shop. There's a lot of big things coming next few weeks that we'll be announcing, and just keep having fun, enjoy your football and all that stuff. But until then, for Mayor, for TK, for Coach who's still out there running the streets, the coach is real. The coach is everywhere. Backs up, y'all. Like it's icky out here in the streets, man. Do your thing. We'll see y'all soon, and we out.
FTCUTD.